to be in a band or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were toured and stuff.
Yeah, they used to call him Sleazy G or something. I don't get it. The Georgezilla Podcast. Oh, man. I do not like this light that I have here. I used to use it when I streamed. But, yeah, I run hot. And, you know what? Let me switch this. I like this over here. Where can I put it, like, in the middle? Nope. Okay, that works. I kind of look at myself, I guess. That's kind of... Dude, come on. All right, yeah. So, yeah, I run hot. Go figure. I'm a big guy. And, oh, there's Lagatha. I sweat for nothing. I mean, just wearing this, I sweat. It's... since I was in high school. And,
1 hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
anyways, short story long, I bought this streaming light because I noticed my complexion in my streams is like super dark. I mean, like, I don't know, just dark. And I bought this stupid light, and it's great. It lights everything up, but, you know, let me move my mic, too. Jeez, unprofessional. It lights everything up, but after a couple minutes, I will sweat. It's a little sacrifices, you know. Anyways, I wanted to do something a little more creative since I'm not, like, you know, in a band anymore, you know. And if you hear noises, by the way, it's my cat. It's my cat. She's got bags and toys and everything everywhere. So, I wanted to be more creative with everything. And this goes for anything I do. I'm not saying it comes out good, but I just like to customize things, I guess. I don't know. Do things my own way. Even at jobs, you know, I would do the same thing. I would try to come up with my own way of doing things while following directions, right? But my point is that, yeah, I'm not playing in a band anymore, but I have been recording stuff, and I've released, I think, 2 songs, you know, on the heavier side. And that's just because I've only really been in one heavy band, you know, and God, I was a teenager. And, you know, if you ever heard of Orangeburg Massacre, that was a band that I started with a bunch of my friends. I think I was just out of high school. I think I was like 19-ish or something. But yeah, it was heavy. And it was the first band I ever played that we were in drop tuning, because I was just used to E standard or whatever you call it, and we were tuning to C, G, C, F, A, D, and I still love that tuning to this day. But yeah, so all the bands that I was in after that were like, you know, pop, punk, and whatever, you know, and you know, there's a little heaviness here and there, but it's just after all those years of me just playing softer music, even though I played heavier stuff on the side for fun, I just want to record just some heavy, you know, death metal, slam, whatever, deathcore, just that I've been wanting to put out. But, you know, there's just short songs. I didn't put in as much time as I would if I was in a band. No excuses. That's just the truth. But yeah, I did that, and I want to start playing or recording other stuff, like other styles. So more in the range of the bands that I played in afterwards. You know, Victory Within, you know, 10 Seconds to Go, The Still Life, stuff like that. So it's kind of like, it's got that easy core type sound. And yeah, I'll probably do some vocals too, but I just downloaded Melodyne, and I mean, I've never really recorded myself until recently. So I usually go to studios, not like I'm some cool guy, but I'm just saying, I usually just go in and do whatever, right? And then whoever's recording, the engineer, producer, whatever, puts their effects on and makes it sound decent. So I don't know how to use Melodyne. I don't know how to use any of these programs, to be honest, but I'm just going to try it and see, try to tune my vocals a little bit, I guess. But the other stuff, like the guitars and, the melodies and drums, I can do all that stuff. I got programs for that and VSTs and all that good stuff, which that type of thing is very new to me, even though I've only, I don't have any real amps anymore. I have like practice amps, but so I have a couple Neural DSP plugins, and they're awesome. I think I have the Petrucci and Nolly, I think. And from what I know, they have, I'm pretty sure there's like some 5150 type PV, heads, amps, and all that good stuff. And then the other one, I think it has more like Mesa Boogie type amps, and that's what I always use, dual, triple rectifier. So good enough for me. And yeah, I've had them for a couple years, and I just started really using them and recording with them, and they're awesome. They're awesome because the stuff that I used to do when I used to record just for myself, or like if I wanted to send like a song to a bandmate or something, for them to listen to, learn it, and then change whatever, I did really dumb shit. Like I would put some random mic for a computer, like for a podcast type deal. I would put it up to like a practice amp, and I would get the levels, and that would be my guitar. I did stupid shit. I know there was a lot of better ways to do that, but I just was in the moment, did it just like that. I mean, it worked for the most part, and then the rest of the stuff that I really wanted to record, if I was gonna try to add some parts to another song, I would go into like my singer's studio, and he'd show me how to use Pro Tools real quick and be like, oh yeah, just record this and blah blah blah, and I would do a better version. When I used to do drums, I used to just MIDI map on Reason, and that took forever. But what you have at hand, a lot of times I would record onto my cell phone, and sometimes I didn't even have an amp, and yeah, those are funny because you'd see, how the song started and what it turned into, and sometimes it's not even better. Yeah, that I just went on a long rant about that, but I think my point was that I'm going to be recording more. I wanted to do more than what I was doing. I just felt like I have some talent left here and there, and I want to express it however I can. So yeah, editing videos, editing logos and pictures and all that. Even back when I was in bands, I was always putting in the codes for MySpace to make the page look good, and I would make flyers and all that. So yeah, I'm going to be doing things like that, and recording songs, maybe even having me just play with a riff and then turn it into something. That might be interesting. And then topics. I'm going to have a bunch of topics. I already have a list of things, and I'll give an example. but it's all going to be, lean towards music. And yeah, I mean, there's going to be other things, obviously, and yeah, I want to hear a bunch of music and give my opinions on what's good and bad and whatever, and little reviews, and then even go to shows and review shows that I go to. That would be fun. So one of the topics, and this is connected with music, but that's okay. A lot of stuff's going to be about music, but I'm a very I don't even know how to explain this about myself, but music means a lot to me in a bunch of different ways. And it's not just like, oh, this is such a good song, I love this song. Like, it's deeper than that. And it's deeper than, oh, these are good lyrics, or this guitar riff, or whatever, it's even further than that. I wish I could just listen to stuff and just be like, it's a good song, because half the time I can't. I'm like just criticizing it, but not like being negative. It's just like, relating to, oh yeah, that's a good, whatever. I don't know. Putting my input on it. Just, yeah, it's pretty much criticizing it, but I wish I can just listen to music and just be like, yeah, that's good, or, oh, I don't like that. But there's just so much more to it. So one of the topics I wanted to discuss was if there's like a song or an artist, but pretty much just a song that you haven't heard in a long time. And it could be because the artist was not like mainstream, so you can't find their music on Apple Music or Spotify, YouTube, whatever. That happens. There's a lot of bands that I forgot about because they weren't around with social media, maybe MySpace, and then even then, I don't think you could have downloaded stuff on MySpace. I don't remember, but there was like these songs that get stuck in my head, and I'm like, who is this band? I have something in my face. What the heck is it? And it would drive me crazy, and I would only have like maybe the chorus stuck in my head. And even that, I'm not singing the right lyrics, it's just something, or it could be a guitar part, right? And that's the worst. So I would text my buddies that played guitar and my friends that were musicians, and I'd be like, or call them, right? I had to call them, or voice note, something like that. And I'd be like, dude, what is this from? What is this band, And I would look everywhere, could not find anything. And I can't even remember what this band was, but it was some local punk band. And I had hung out with a couple of my friends at a show, and I had mentioned some names. I go, yeah, they played with these bands, and they got it right off the bat. Still don't remember now. Anyways, I was listening to music, as I do every night, and I think I put on like 90s alternative or something like that. It's got some good stuff on there. Lots of grunge, lots of Soundgarden, Nirvana, and stuff like that. And then 311 came on. I know everybody knows typical 311. And I don't know what album it was, but it's the one that it might be called Transistor, but the song is Transistor. And I was like, oh my God, I remember, like, something happened when it came on, and like, I just pictured myself laying in bed on a twin-sized bed, I remember, and listening to this with my Discman, and I would listen to this album a lot, like every night to put me to sleep. And the album has some hits on it. I think Beautiful Disaster is on there, and anyways, there's like a lot of hits. But then there's a lot of filler. That album, I want to say, has like 18 or 19 songs, which is a lot, I think nowadays it's 10 to 12. And so I was like, damn, like these songs that were coming on, because I put the album on after, I was like, I know these songs, but I have not heard them since I was probably in high school. And just the feeling that came over me, just it's just a crazy feeling. I mean, I like warped back to that time. I mean, I had like goosebumps, and it was crazy. And it's just insane how much music it makes you literally feel things. It's not just you listening to it. And like I was saying earlier, it's not just lyrics, it's not just guitar, drums, the vocal, like the choruses and all that stuff. There's so much more into that. And yeah, I don't know what it was about that song, but it like it was Transistor, and I listened to the whole thing. I was like, oh man. And that's going to be a big topic for me, because I have a lot of songs that have done that to me, where I've just kind of this flashback, like, like PTSD or something. And I was just like, whoa, like I remember what I was doing listening to that song. So yeah, that's one thing I want to talk about, which is, just interesting to me. I could always do something where I tell whoever's listening, if there's anyone out there or watching, to give me examples, and I could talk about that, because I'm not going to be doing like a live podcast. It's going to be me recording it, at home, and then editing it and then putting it out. I'm going to try to do 30 minutes. But, that way, if I want to get some input from people, or if there's questions, Q&As and all that stuff, we'll do that, which would be cool. Because that's what it's about, relating to fellow musicians or just fellow people that like music, sharing experiences. And I've got a lot of weird ones. We'll get into that too on another podcast. But, sum it all up, I'm going to try to do this once a week. I'll pick a day. And I haven't decided if I want to do like a streaming app like Apple or Spotify or anything like that. I don't know if I'm going to release it like that to just listen to, because the video one, for me, it's more fun. And also you can see past what you hear, right? I mean, I've listened to lots of podcasts or just listen to the radio, and things are funny, or you get some sort of reaction to it. But like if you see the person's reaction, their face and whatever, it's a little different. Or you might turn this thing on and just have the sound on. I mean, whatever, don't matter, don't bother me. Oh yeah, this is a new shirt that I got, 18 Visions, one of my all-time favorite bands, and yeah, I've seen them about half a dozen times with somewhat same lineups, and yeah, they're great. So another thing that I'm going to talk about here and there is my sobriety, and that's a big thing for me. And I have never been one to push anything on anyone. I don't care what you do. We're all adults, I think. And, I have friends that do stuff that I don't agree with, and they're still my friends. And vice versa, right? And things that I believe in and they don't, and they do and I don't, something like that. Anyways, so I don't care what you do, just don't hurt yourself and don't hurt other people with what you're doing. But yeah, I just like a lot of people around my age, and even not my age, I partied, I drank and stuff, and I was in bands and, did my share of partying, whatever. But I am not the same age as I was before, and hangovers suck. Everything sucks about that. Yeah, so what I was saying is that, I partied, drank too much, did a lot of dumb shit, drunk and sober. But, I've been sober, and I looked this up. Sober is just alcohol. But you can say it for whatever you want. But yeah, I'm sober from alcohol. I was sober, like from everything for, God, I want to say 2 years. And I felt awesome. And then after a while, I was just, getting bored.
Huh?
I guess that's the only thing to say. I was getting bored, and I'm just being honest. And so I slowly became California sober. And if you guys don't know what that means that I smoke weed. I don't smoke weed though. I vape it. I'm not one of those dudes that walks around with a fucking vape and all this shit. Don't do that. But I have e-rigs, and it's a safer version of smoking. It's a vapor. It's not as bad. It still does stuff to you, and all that good. I've looked it up. There's a lot other things that I could be doing, like drinking, and I don't drink. But yeah, I dab every once in a while. So, but I'm in my headspace really is that if anything that I enjoy, and this can be anything like music or food or something, if it adds problems, which alcohol definitely did, not blame it at all on the alcohol, but it had a lot to do with a lot of decisions that I made and whatever. If weed or anything got into it, even coffee, man, coffee is one of the worst things that I drink because I have anxiety. But yeah, if it made me feel worse or made me feel like shit or whatever, I wouldn't do it either. That's drinking coffee or whatever it is, smoking. So yeah, if one day I enjoy a dab and I get anxious or something and then it keeps happening, I'll be like, yep, I'm not going to do this anymore. That's the type of guy I am. I don't have a addictive personality, although, I mean, you can say I did with alcohol, but I mean, I quit cold turkey. So, and I'm around people that drink and it doesn't bother me one bit. I actually get sick around it, so it's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's one thing I'll talk about. And some people don't like that I'm California sober, but I don't care. So, at the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy, what's better for you. And I'm not here to please anyone except, my family. And that's there's like a line there too, my friends and where's Lagatha? I don't know where she's at. Lagatha. Are you in the bag? She might be in this bag. Yep, she's in the bag. We know, baby. So, anyways, the point of that is that those are the people that I make decisions for. Or does that make sense? The decisions I make for myself, those are the ones that affect that. Does that make sense? So my family, my cat, and my close friends. It makes sense to me. At 26 minutes, and I'm going to have to edit some shit too. But yeah, so I'm all about self-help and taking care of yourself. It took me a long time to do that, more than just the basics. I'm a typical guy, typical dude. We find our rhythm and we keep it, and it could be the dumbest thing to us. People on the outside are like, what are you doing? You do the same thing or you eat the same thing and blah, 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 blah. And that's just guys. Guys are very simple creatures, but we do have things that we like and we're very invested in, like my cat. I was really into video games at one point. I used to stream. I don't even know what the hell you call it. I was a Twitch affiliate. And I made some money doing that. Don't want to do that anymore. So, yeah. I used to game, though. I still game a little bit. I used to be at my computer all the time, and now I kind of force myself to game. But, it is fun. But, man, playing this game called Escape from Tarkov, I've been playing it for about 5 years or something, and the game just fully released. I know that sounds dumb. But I was like, oh, let's play it again. And then it sucked me back in. And then I got sick of it real quick because it's just one of those games. It's a like a role-playing game, RPG, like a military simulation. Yeah. Anyways, you shoot stuff and you eat and drink things. I don't know, man. It's fun. But I got sick of it and stopped playing it because it's very frustrating. Besides that, I play guitar. I'm thinking about getting a 7-string, but I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. What's coming up for me? I'm going to see Adam Ray do it's supposed to be his last Dr. Phil show. He plays Dr. Phil among other characters. I'm seeing him this month, which is awesome. I cannot wait. I'm really into comedy and stand-up. And I'm binge watching stupid shows right now. They just re-added Vikings on Netflix because I have the cheap one. I don't care about commercials. I don't watch them, but I just don't care. I just let it go. But most people know that I got my cat's name from Vikings. And I just kind of changed the name a little bit. But there's Ragnar is like the Viking king. He's pretty fucking cool. And his wife at one time was this girl named Lagertha, or Lagertha, however they said it. But a lot of times when they said the name is Lagertha, and I said, oh, that's different, whatever. And then when I adopted, did I adopt her? Or rescued, that's how you say it. When I rescued my cat, I didn't know, I wanted a boy, but, it didn't work out. Got a girl. And I didn't want to name her Mittens or Buttons and all that, which are cool names. They're cute, but not what I wanted to do. And I named her Lagertha because Lagertha, if you watch Vikings, she's this powerful Viking woman. She's gorgeous. And she becomes, I don't think she becomes a queen, maybe for a little bit, but she becomes an earl. And she's freaking brutal. I mean, stuff she does. But anyways, thought it'd fit my cat. So, Lagertha. To be perfectly honest, I call her Lagertha maybe twice a day, and the rest of the time it's baby, stinky butt, baby butt, whatever. Hey. Or sometimes I call her bro or dude. Oh, God. I mean, I guess that's okay because I used to do that with my ex-girlfriend. That's embarrassing. But yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, we're going to talk about whatever, and I am thinking about having guests, but I don't live close to a lot of my friends anymore. So if I could, what I would do is have someone come here and do that. But I think I'm going to try to do like like a FaceTime type deal, like a Teams meeting deal, and then I can ask questions. I don't know how that's going to work, but I have some ideas for that. We'll see what happens. Also, I'm going to be changing the background here. I just put this stuff together. I want to blend it in. I might even change it. Even the video that played in the beginning, I made that, and I like changing things. That's just what it is for now. The song that's playing, I did this. I made the song too, and it's just a silly song, But I might want to change it down the road. I don't know. I get like that. It's really weird. Oh yeah, another. Here we go. Another thing that I'm gonna want to talk about is health and fitness. That's another thing because I watch what I eat. Everybody watches what they eat, but I try to, I count macros sometimes, and yeah, I try to be very mindful of what I eat. But anyways, we can talk about that, the stuff that I do. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of this podcast, like I said, is for me to get this, release. Not what you're thinking, but just you just get ideas, and sometimes you really want to put it to light or whatever, and that's what this is. I don't know what's going to come out of it. I have no idea. We'll see. But I'm open to suggestions, and we'll figure that out. I don't know if I should do an outro thing for my video. Anyways, that's it. But everybody, this one thing I always say, because I was doing like live updates or whatever on Instagram. I don't know. But at the end, I would always be like, you know what? Just whatever is bugging you, just kind of forget about it. And that's really, really dumb to say, but like, I try to put all the shit that's bugging me aside, and I just do things. I just have to say, okay, I need to do this. I don't want to. I'm going to do it. Like every time I go for a walk, when I go to the gym, I'm always like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. But the fact is that I'm there. And I'm trying. So everybody that has some sort of itch in them or they have something they want to do and they're procrastinating, just do it. Don't worry about what people are thinking. Don't worry about that. Just worry about yourself, because at the end of the day, you have to be happy with yourself, and that's where it starts. Yeah, that was super cheesy, but you know what? I'm out. Look at this guy. I heard he used to be in a band or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were that big. They toured and stuff.
Yeah, they used to call him Sleazy G or something. I don't get it. The Georgezilla Podcast.